8 News is taking action after a local mother claims the Hopewell Police Department and other authorities are responsible for her son's fatal overdose.
He was working as a police informant when he died. 8 News investigator Kerri O'Brien spoke exclusively with his mom and witnesses. Kerri?
Juan Talia, mom claims the Hopewell Police Department knew her son was addicted to opioids, yet forced him to purchase the drugs in his role as an informant. Now she's filed a $13 million lawsuit against the department, the Hopewell Commonwealth's attorney, and the former chief.
They did not care about my son's life.
Donna Watson grieves over the loss of her 31-year-old son, Troy Howlett. She blames the Hopewell Police Department for his death.
They put my son in harm's way.
Howlett got hooked on pain pills after a car accident when he was just 17. He was in and out of recovery. But during a setback, Watson says police recruited her son.
The police found him in the car and they took him to the hospital.
Howlett was already on probation for illegal drug use. Watson says police threatened to arrest and charge him in the latest incident if he didn't work for them as an informant.
My son's pleading, Mom, I can't go to jail, I'm scared.
She claims police gave him cash, a camera, and sent him undercover to buy drugs.
I know my son. He wasn't strong enough to do something like that. And it's like putting a kid in a candy shop.
She was right. Text messages between Howlett and detectives show he had told police he had relapsed and tested positive for drugs. Yet in a text message, the authorities said he was good to go and sent him back out on the streets.
After they knew my son had tested dirty, at that point they should have pulled him off.
Days later, Howlett overdosed on fentanyl-laced heroin. In the lawsuit filed against Hopewell Police and the city's Commonwealth's attorney, Watson's attorney, Colleen Quinn, alleges Howlett ingested some of the illegal drugs he was forced to buy as an informant and died.
To use him as an informant to purchase the thing that he is most vulnerable about and that could end up killing him, that's just reckless.
They might say he decided to use, he took the drugs.
Well, you held the fact that you're going to send him back to jail over his head.
Howlett's death certificate lists the cause of death, combined fentanyl toxicity.
They used my son to do their dirty work.
To make matters worse, on the day Watson was to lay her son to rest, Hopewell Police surrounded the funeral home.
There was 3 Hopewell police officers. 2 were in tactical gear, which was scary.
Witnesses who we are not identifying because they fear retaliation describe a shocking scene in front of mourners. Officers arresting Howlett's best friend in the middle of the funeral.
They put his hands behind his back and cuff him. I was like, are y'all kidding?
He's in shackles.
The witnesses say officers could have made the arrest before or after the funeral, but waited until the service started.
They could have waited.
It was just unnecessary.
His crime, alleged credit card fraud and allegedly failing to pay child support.
I was so angry the next day because you can't get a do-over.
Watson is seeking damages for the incident in a companion lawsuit.
I just couldn't believe the police were so disrespectful.
None of this will bring back Watson's son, but she hopes it will get Hopewell Police and other law enforcement to think twice about using vulnerable addicts in this way.
I don't want it to ever happen to anyone ever again.
We reached out to the Hopewell Police Department and the Commonwealth's attorney. They all said no comment.